Welcome back to the second hour of LoveBabz Love Talk. I am delighted to be sitting in this chair on this fine Tuesday. So let me tell you, weed goes on sale legit today. Go get your smoke edible tincture thing on. They got it for you. It's legal to buy. I don't know if this is going to put your neighborhood weed man out of business. I have no idea. Lest they go pick up the good weed at the good spot and bring it to you. I have no idea. But I know today is weed day, the very beginning of weed day. Oh, it just seems so long. It just seems like yesterday they were locking people up for, copious amounts of pot on their person. Oh, how far we have come, society. How far we have come. Listen, I don't know what to say. I don't know. Are people gonna, will it be like a thing if you're seen at the weed shop buying weed? Like, or will it become trendy? Like, if you're not at the weed shop, then you don't count. Do you know what I mean? Like, what will be the vibe? I want to know. Like, what would be the moral vibe? What would be the like, how would people feel about this? Like, if you saw your teacher going into the weed shop, or you saw your cardiologist going into the weed shop, like, what do you think? Do you have a thought about that? I don't know. And when I say I don't know, I sincerely do not know. But I'm gonna pay attention to this little story. But the recreational dispensaries, I love that whole term, recreational dispensaries. Your weed shop. Your weed shop. I don't know. I think I want to go in just to see what the vibe is. I guess it's I would imagine it's akin to going to like a fine wine shop or a wine shop. You just go in and people are knowledgeable about product, and you say, this is what I want to fix. This is what I want to support. This is what you go in there and say, I'm not sleeping at night. And they come up with a little bit of stuff for you to like, well, this ought to mellow you out. Or you go in there and say, oh, I can't really focus. And they go, oh, I got just the right kind of thing for that. Do you want to smoke it? Do you want to vape it? Do you want to take it in pills? Do you want a salve? Do you want a little tincture? Like, what do you want? I got to go in and see. I seriously have to go and check this out. That's what I'm going to do. I'll come back and let you know when I find out. And I know I won't be the only one in there. I know I'll see other people. So I don't know. These are the days. And I know people who serve some time for weed. I know they're like, what? What? I never thought I'd see this day. I was like, me either, baby. But here we are. Here we are. And get ready for it. I believe Dulio is spinning records this weekend at the Cannon. If you haven't been to the Cannon, it's a vegan vegetarian pub right there on Dwight and Chapel. They have good food there. And they have, they don't have, they're not a cocktail bar, so you're not going to get that cocktail kind of thing. But it's a pub, so you could get good beer, you get you some Jameson. You can watch a little TV. They are home to a particular football. By football, I mean soccer team. I think they did well for the World Cup because they had a little breakfast menu because World Cups started. Some World Cups started like 8 o'clock in the morning and people wanted to watch. And so they set up a little breakfast action. People sat in there for breakfast. I was very impressed. I didn't go not near there during World Cup. I went in there after World Cup games Because if I tried to get in there during World Cup, I wasn't getting in because it was packed. That so I always went in between games, you know, and that seemed to work well. Seemed to work well. It seems to work well. So anyway, I'm just saying, all kinds of cool places to be downtown. All kinds of cool. Hey, Ife got a free pair. She's down there wrangling children at Hill House High School as a permanent substitute teacher. Go, girl, go. Go, girl, go. I don't know how people teach. I don't know how they do it. And listen, I taught, so I get it. You know, I ran Jumpstart for young children. So I prefer 3 to 5 year olds or grown-ups. Anything in between, I can't, it's not in my wheelhouse. It is just not in my wheelhouse. It's not in my wheelhouse. So, but God bless them. We all across this country, there's a teacher shortage across the country. COVID has gotten teachers to reconsider and reevaluate what they want to do with the rest of their lives, and teaching ain't one of them, you know. And teaching used to be considered a noble profession, but I think we've ran teachers in the ground and expected so much from them. We expect more from teachers than we do from parents. Ain't that something? we expect so much from teachers. We expect hardly nothing from parents. And that's not, listen, no shade to parents. I'm a parent. But I just think teachers take on a lot, and they're quick to shame you if you fall off script, or you know, some kid gets out of line and you back that thing up, you know. And listen, I know there are some teachers out there who don't like kids. I get it, but the majority of the teachers I know, 99% of them, they were called to this profession because they believe deeply in education and educating our children specifically. So. But I think the education profession likes to scapegoat teachers for all the ills of society, you know, and deliberately and unwittingly they do it. You know, if kids are not learning in school, well, it's the teacher's fault. Well, you're not teaching right, you know, and here's a new method that I need you to learn in 48 hours so you could teach these kids. If these kids are not at grade level, it's your fault. You know, no one talks about when kids show up in school and how they are prepared or not prepared for school, you know. And I don't want to shame or blame. And this is not about shame or blame. We as a society have enough of that around us that we don't have to pick. We don't have to pick a team. There's enough to go around, you know. But I do think teachers are under siege. I do. I think they are unfairly maligned. I think they're unfairly criticized. And I think they're unfairly made to heed all these children that come with all these problems, you know, or not problems, challenges. So many kids with challenges. So I remember when I worked at adult ed, I saw the challenges that kids faced. Lots of them, lots and lots and lots of challenges. And teachers don't have the resources or the bandwidth to deal with every single issue that rises up. You know, old school teachers maybe because nobody messed with old school teachers. Old school teachers could get you gathered. But now teachers can't do that. Now these kids want to put everything on Snapchat and social media. Oh, look at my teacher. You know, that whole let's slap a teacher day went viral, and all these kids rolling up on teachers, slapping them. And before administrations could figure out that this was some deliberate thing, teachers were being unfairly, you know, suspended and unfairly called out, you know, because these kids was running up on them and they was defending themselves. And they come to find out these kids is just playing games for their social media likes and feeds. And so and you know, it happened here. It was happening all across the country before adults figured out, oh, this is considered a prank. Like they're doing this deliberately. Yes, teachers are not arbitrarily beating the hell out of kids. They're not doing that, although some should. There are some kids that ought to be smacked to the ground, but we can't do that anymore. So don't come for me about it. I'm just saying, I've seen some of these kids in these classrooms. They don't have any manners. And I know I advocate for kids. I want kids to get what they need. I want kids to be seen. I want kids to be heard. I want kids to express themselves. I know how hard it is to be a kid in this millennium, but still, yet and still. So yes, that TikTok stuff. So it's just challenging. So I'm an advocate for teachers. I'm an advocate for students. I think, they're not divorced of each other. But I think we need to cut teachers a little bit more slack. I do think that. I think we should have more grace for teachers, and I think we should pay them more. I do. And I don't care what and this might not be equivalency, but we have no problems paying athletes whatever they ask for. We should be able to raise the salaries of teachers if we say we care about kids. if we say children are the future. If we truly believe that, then we would prepare the future better. I mean, if we believe that, if we have will, we have will to do that. We should reconsider that. So I don't know. I don't know if teaching is going to reimagine itself into another way of being. I would imagine that it will, because another pandemic would really hurt. And another pandemic will be upon us, no doubt. Maybe not this year, next year. I mean, we're still in a pandemic, but some new thing that will cause us to be, shuttered in. And listen, I just saw on the news where colleges and universities across the country are starting to require masking again. That's where we are, and the pushback. I don't understand how we can have feelings about a public health issue that goes against public health matters. I don't understand how we can allow how we feel to dictate what is necessary for our very existence. I don't understand how people could get mad about wearing a mask when masking is the first line of defense to save your damn life. Why are people whining about this? I don't get it. I'm like, are you kidding me? I bet you if they said this mask, if you wore a mask, you wouldn't get cancer. I bet you everybody and their mother would be in mask 24 hours a day. We'd be masking. Well, how about we just make it that serious? Just make it that serious. Particularly people with comorbidities, people with comorbidities. You know what comorbidities are? The things that'll kill your ass if you get COVID, like if you have high blood pressure, or if you have diabetes, or some other thing that is happening that makes you amino compromised. I'm just saying. So I don't understand how people. The easiest thing you could do to save your life and protect your family is a mask. It's the easiest thing and the cheapest thing. It's not like you have to go buy masks are $25 for a 5-pack. It's not. I got a whole pack in my car. It's not like you got to smuggle masks across the border. I think maybe if they would have came at this a little differently, that people would be indignant about getting a mask. They would be like, I'm outraged that I can't get a mask. Right? Like, if it would have got down like that, like only rich people were getting the vaccines. If they would have started there, I'm just convinced that people would be like, damn it, I want my vaccine. How dare you give these rich people vaccines? How dare you not take care of poor and the most vulnerable? Apparently taking care of the poor and the most vulnerable was the wrong idea. Then everybody went to DEFCON 12 about it. Oh my God, they're picking us first because they don't trust this vaccine. So they're giving it to us poor and vulnerable populations because they're experimenting. You know, the one time that the government was trying to do the right thing just seemed to be the wrong thing. So you got people who were just beside themselves. I'm not doing it. Oh no. And I'm thinking to myself, but if they would have went to affluent rich people first, if it could only be given at affluent clinics, you know, where people get their Botox and fancy manicures and pedicures and all that kind of stuff, or private doctors. If it started there, we would have everybody vaccinated by now. Like if people were like hosting vaccine parties where they actually get vaccinated, like they do these Botox parties, then it would become trendy, right? Then everybody would want, because everybody wants to be adjacent to the rich and the powerful. So if the rich and the powerful have something, then that means everybody else wants to get some kind of similarly shine from it. So I think the rollout was just backwards. And I get why it was rolled out that way, because in medical speak, the most vulnerable populations you want to treat so that you can slow down the lives taken. That's the right thing to do. But in the world in which we live in, the right thing would have been make it exclusive first for a short period of time, and then make everybody clamor for it, and then put it on the street. And then just do exactly what they did. Set up camps and tents and all the stuff and kiosks, and that would have been a better deal. That would have been a better deal. Then more people would have got vaccinated, because people cannot stand being left out. And historically, usually that's how it goes down. You know, affluence first, poverty second. But that's not how it went down. So I still think about people who just refuse to sort of be vaccinated, and then refuse to say, I want to be vaccinated again and again. Let me tell you something. I don't have a fear of the virus, only because I have an immune system that does not allow for it. But that's a very rare, unique thing that is unique to me. But I got the shots, and we went back and forth about this over a period of time, because we knew the shots wasn't going to help me one way or the other. But I did it because you couldn't get into places without the little card. So I just took the shots. You know, I had to have surgery, so I had to have all the things in place. Even though my team knew that, I still had to have shots. I got the first one, the second one, I got the third one. It's just easier to comply than to sort of like whip out papers saying why I don't need to comply. I didn't want to play that game. It was a losing game, you know, and it's hard to explain to people. And I'm tired of explaining people. I really am tired of explaining to people my allergy, how severe it is, because people just think, you know, I'm just making it up. And I think they literally think I'm just making this up. You know, I was like, okay, whatever. But you don't see me eating ice cream. You never see me eating dairy things, because it would kill me. I mean, it would literally kill me. I know that. I don't have to pretend. I already gone through all the things. I've been intubated. I've been in a coma. I'm not trying to go back to that life. You know, in the early days of this allergy that they didn't know anything about. Now they know so much. And I belong in a network with people who have the similar thing, you know, who have the same problem. And so, and I'm on there. I get the newsletters, and, you know, I every now and again, I'll read the whole thing. So I know what to look out for, because, you know, there are watchdogs out there who are always paying attention to ingredients, so people like myself would stay alive, you know. And you'd be surprised how much ingredients change in food products all the time. They're changing ingredients, and are mad to share that information. they get mad to share the information. So you have to have these watchdog organizations and groups out there to sort of monitor so that information can get to those of us who need it the most. And that's the truth. And it was a long, hard fight to get companies and manufacturers to put ingredients on labels. They just didn't want to do it because they knew if they did it, people would educate themselves and maybe reconsider eating and putting in their body these things that that more consonants and vowels that are not talked about in polite company. So I just say all that to say, if the first line of defense is a simple mask, why wouldn't you do it? What is it about the mask that is so egregious to you? Oh, you feel like it's infringing on your rights? You have the right to die. You do. What you don't have the right is to kill other people. See, that's the rub. Therein lies the rub. Isn't that from Shakespeare? Therein lies the rub. I'm just saying, if the first line of defense is a mask, just put on a damn mask. What's the problem? I know it's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating. Because you're like, oh, I walk into space, I got to put on a mask, oh, I got to take it off, then I got to get a fresh one. Well, you put on fresh underwear, I hope, every single day. I mean, there's a lot of things that you do every single day that you have to do. You have to brush your teeth every day. You like having teeth. I mean, who doesn't like having teeth? So if you like having teeth, then you brush your teeth, you floss, you brush your teeth, and you go to the dentist 1 or 2 times a year, depending on your insurance and what they'll cover. Because you enjoy having teeth. You do what they tell you to do so that you can have teeth. What's hard about it? I find going to the dentist just as invasive as going to the gynecologist. Probably more so, because they're in your mouth longer than the gynecologist is down there tinkering around. All good, nothing to see down here. Little swab with that long ass cotton swab. That's all it is. But the dentist, they all up in your mouth. Open wider, turn your head, lights in there, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of tools, drills, equipment. I find going to the dentist way more invasive than going to the gynecologist. The gynecologist is wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. The dentist, there's foreplay. There's all the stuff. And then there's like after it's all done, you might smoke a cigarette with your dentist and be like, that was pretty good. And by smoking a cigarette, I mean, you get a little mouthwash. That's what I mean. So I find the dentist more invasive. I go to the gynecologist, they're not lingering down there. They're not. Like they're in there and they're out. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. They're in and out. Both sides, in and out. Dentists, not so much. I mean, they're in there, tooth by tooth. So I know women feel some kind of way, but I personally, I think the dentist wins for most invasive. Wins for most invasive. I don't care. And then they have other people that have to come in there and look in your mouth too. At least when you're at the gynecologist, the gynecologist and the nurse, not a whole bunch of people. Go to the dentist, somebody got to clean the teeth, then the doctor's got to look at the teeth, then somebody's got to take the x-ray. I mean, it's a whole production. And it's invasive because your mouth is wide open. Your coochie cooch is not wide open. They have to actually open it. You put your legs up in the stirrups. It's not like open sesame. They got to go in there with the speculum and like, like a jack. Like I got ratcheted open. Like, open it up. Take a look. All clear. Goodbye. Not so much at the dentist. Up and down. Cleaning, spraying, digging, You hear it. There's no noise at the gynecologist. You don't hear no drills or tools at the gynecologist. It might be a little cold. They've learned to warm those things up a little bit. But if you go to the dentist, it's loud. I don't care how much music they pump in there. I don't care if it's easy listening, 70s rock. I don't care. It's still loud at the dentist. Those tools are loud and they're right there in your mouth, so you hear them. Your head falls up. And this is what makes people anxiety go through the roof. Because the damn tools sound like power tools. So in your mind, it looks like a big giant power tool. It's an itty bitty thing, but it sounds so loud. And you use it's enough to give you anxiety. Not kidding. Y'all know. So hands down for me, gynecologist, piece of cake. Dentist, not so much. Not so much. Now I know. Now here's the other thing. People don't like going to get their tatas photographed. But that's really what they're doing. They're taking a picture of your breast. See where things are. If anything has changed. Anything growing, lumps, bump, anything. Now that, I think, requires dinner and cocktails, because that's a whole production and they got to smush them up there. And, you know, my breasts, because they've been hacked some years ago, are not round and perky. They're not optimum. So it takes a lot to like push them up in the thing and get them sandwiched in. That's work. That's work. It's a lot of work. And you got to stand there and they're like, hold your breath and you got to suck it in and don't breathe. And then, oh, let me push a little harder and get up in there a little bit more. And I mean, it's a lot. They should offer you a spa treatment after that. These tatas get a workout. As a matter of fact, I'm having my mammogram on Valentine's Day. I usually get it done around my birthday, but I'll be in Marrakesh. I don't think the insurance will pay for a mammogram in Marrakesh. So I'm doing it in February for Valentine's Day because love. It's such that they are, I actually like these babies. I mean, they, you know, my breasts have been hacked up, you know, for, I don't know, 30 years, 20 years now. So I had some tumors and they had to all be removed. And they tried to, you know, and the thinking was, we're not gonna take the breast. We're gonna keep the breast. We're just gonna go in there and dig out everything. And they did a lot. And then when they put them back together, I mean, they put them back together, what it is. And so they just how they are. They're not, I used to have really good looking breasts. Now they're not so much. And I don't lose any sleep over that. I'm not losing any sleep over anything about this body anymore. I have a fat tummy. It's a fat tummy. It's a fat tummy that hangs down. That's what it is. A fupa. I have a big fupa though. I don't care. I got like rolls on the side. I don't care. I don't care. Now I got scars on both sides of the hips because of the hip surgery. Scars. What I'm gonna do. Although my doctor did such a nice job, they almost look invisible. I was standing in the shower and I was looking for them the other day. I was like, I know I have scars here, but they faded into because I don't keloid, so I don't have keloid. I don't have keloid, but I think the surgeon for the breast didn't do as good of a job as the surgeon did on the hips. But, you know, this is 30 years apart, so technique is different. I'm sure thread is different. all kinds of things are different. So if I had to do it again, I would reconsider how it went down. You know, I think I would have been a little bit more concerned about it would have just been a little different. So, but anyway, I'm just saying. So in comparison to all the things, wear your mask, go to the gynecologist, go to the dentist, keep your health up. I got nothing else. I got nothing else. That's it. Go to gynecologist, go to the dentist, have your mammography, get it all done. Let them run the test, do it. You want to be on this earth? I want you to be on this earth. I want to be on this earth, so I'm gonna do all the things. And wear a mask, damn it, if you need to wear a mask. And don't let people bully you about it. Wear a mask. Walk into spaces you don't feel comfortable. It's your health. Wear a mask. Because none of the people are gonna be at your funeral. And none of them are gonna have nice words to say about you. None of them. These people who are bullying you about masks are just assholes. So see them as that and move in your life accordingly. You need to wear a mask, wear a damn mask, and don't let people bully you about it. Stop it. Just stop it. I see people wearing a mask. I'm like, I understand, because that means something else is that they have other things to consider than their own health. Maybe they're taking care of children or aging parents, or they work in an environment where lots of germs or whatever it is. I'm always thinking that first when I see people in masks in spaces. I think that, you know what, they don't want to bring this home to people. They don't want to risk anybody, or they just don't want to risk themselves. And that's a good enough reason right there, your own safety. So wear a mask if you need to. Don't let nobody bully you. Go to gynecologist, get your checks, and go to the dentist because you like having teeth, and get your mammography. That's what I got for you today. Those are the words of wisdom that I have for you today. And now that I'm an old lady, and I fully embrace being an old lady. I'm in my 60th year. I officially turned 60 May 2nd this year. But when January came around, I stepped into an embracing 60. And I've got to tell you, I like it. And especially when I meet people who are in their 70s and they are vibrant and just doing the damn thing. Like they're just killing the game. And I'm just like, what? It's killing the game. So 70 is the new, 50? 60 is the new 40? 50 is the new 30? I don't know. 60 these days is a little different than 60 when I was growing up and watching my mother and my aunties and them. Because we didn't really know how old they were. I remember my mother turned 40, and I remember thinking, whoa, like that's ancient, And little did I know she passed on at 57. That is way too young to die of things. Too young. Too young. So when I hit 57, the anxiety was welling up in me. And when I turned 58, I was dancing in the streets. So anyway, I'm back tomorrow. I've got a really great guest tomorrow at 10:15. I think you'll like him. He'll be my guest tomorrow at 10:15. His name is Anthony the Boogeyman Rucker. And you'll know who he is when I talk to him. So he is of that hip hop generation, and a lot of stuff that he's done with folks. So he'll be here tomorrow. We're gonna talk about hip hop and what he's into these days. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all behave and enjoy this good weather, because it's gonna come to an end, people. You know it. I'll see y'all. Thanks, Harry.